continue to keep trying to guard. And we tried to adjust some things spacing-wise, but you start making some shots. Z got it going. I thought Jamal was terrific tonight. Thought Cade was terrific. Igor continues to show some consistency, and I think it's 3 really good games where Felix has made an impact, especially defensively. And Chaz had a tough night shooting it. Some of that has to do with him too. You got to. Anytime you're struggling, sometimes you got to realize, the opponents have something to do with that. But, Z got it going there. And then we had the lead, and we came out of a timeout. Mike called a great timeout, and we came out, and I thought took 3 straight shots that wasn't what you'd want to do in that situation. But defensively in the second half is the deflections that allowed us to get out and get some layups, turnovers, and convert those were a big part of the game.
Kai do there in those first 10 minutes or so, the second half, to kind of spark y'all?
Well, again, his steal in the backcourt, all that, all the little things. Just really, truly being Zakai, trying to find a way to impact the game, whether it's 94 feet away. His 6 steals were huge. That's huge, and he just really being who he is, and he tries to disrupt play, obviously, and a lot of respect. They run really, really good offense. Not easy to, and we knew with their size and side they would try to take advantage of that as well. But the turnovers that we were able to get, what do we turn them into? That was, big for us, obviously, because we were certainly struggling in the half court.
Of Zakai, what would you like about what Jordan gave you, especially in the second half?
Jordan has shown us, and you guys have watched it, he can score at all 3 levels. He's not afraid to try to get downhill and try to go challenge someone at the rim, and his mid-range game has always been good. That's what, if you watched him play, he's always been good there. And anyone from the shooting it, it's just his improvement. I think that these guys have a bond about them. I think they believe in what they're doing together, and they pull for each other, and certainly and the crowd came to life there too, and that was nice. But it's this. I mean, they're a top 25 team, and you just know going into every game it's going to have to scratch and claw all the way through it, because they wouldn't be where they are if they weren't well coached and had talent. But I thought our guys stayed with it on a night when, again, we just couldn't get it to go in the basket. Early in the game, we were getting some offensive rebounds and had a chance close to the rim and didn't finish some of those, which you'd like to, but they're tougher than you think in there. Z, his confidence level, who he is, his competitive spirit, it definitely rubs off on his teammates. It really does.
With Chaz the last 3 games, do you worry about him to start thinking about this too much, the slump, or how does he get out of it, I guess?
Everyone goes through it. I think that, Dalton had some nights last year, and I shouldn't even bring up because everybody wants to make that comparison, and you can't compare players. I mean, the best of the best I've seen go through some periods where they struggle to shoot. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but I don't worry about Chaz, because he'll do what and he's making improvement. I'm really like tonight, he's going to have to make some tough shots, obviously, but I actually thought he did a pretty good job, maybe as good as he's done all year, getting himself set up quicker. Normally he's coming off screens, being a little lackadaisical, letting guys catch back up with him when he gets that separation. I think he's learning this level. It's a different level for him and getting guarded differently, and but you guys have watched him. He has some looks tonight that obviously we'd love to see it go in for him, but to be able to win the game like we did without him having a big night was good.
Adjustments has Jemai made to his jump shot, going 5 for 5 and making multiple jumpers today?
Well, after the game at Texas, I got a text from one of our GAs that he was in early the next morning really working. He again, it's hard when people decide not to guard you, but he's learned. He's done it every year. He's learned how to adjust, and give him credit for it. But defensively tonight, he was spectacular. I mean, he was really good, and which he normally is. But I thought he picked his spots well, and drove it. Obviously, his 15-foot jump game there was there, and but early, I thought his drive early in the game was a big one because, again, I'm sure you look at it, they were probably giving him a little bit of cushion. He took the slack out and went there and really made a pretty good physical play around the rim. I think he had a little jump hook there, a shot that we need. We need. I don't care who gives it to us. We need more baskets in there like that, if not to score it, if nothing else, to try to get fouled.
In a couple of those games, but is it sustainable long term to get the production you're getting from Chaz and to continue to win games with this team?
We feel like if he's not going to give us something, like D. Stone stepped up the other night. You know, we think somebody will. We think we've got enough guys that can do that for us. You know, we really do. And I thought he shot a couple tonight. He should have waited for, you know, some of the things that we're trying to do. If he doesn't get the look he wants, you know, we want him to play out of triple threat in a ball screen because we think he can be good at it. But, you know, we've also talked about shot ready when he comes off screens. And, again, you guys have seen him get it going. And, again, I've seen the best of the best struggle, but the only way he's going to get himself out of is to stay involved in the game and take the shots that he practices. I mean, I don't care. And I told all of our guys that when they get open and they have shots at the pace, game shots, game spots, game speed, we expect them to take it. Now, where it gets a little bit difficult is when guys are giving you those shots and they're not going in. So that's when you have to be able to know when to shoot them and when not to.
Igor continues to dominate on the offensive rebounding aspect, but what makes him so good in those out-of-area rebounds, especially on offense?
It's effort, just strictly effort. You know, he's always been a really good defensive rebounder. We knew that coming in, and that's something that we think it doesn't matter what level. You know, if you're a good high school rebounder, normally you're going to be a good college rebounder, and as you keep going up, he had proven he was a really good defensive rebounder, and sometimes you might play in a system where it's not emphasized as much. This league is a rebounding league. I mean, you look around our league, but he's worked really hard, and it's not easy because I know that people were getting ready, games saying you got to block him out, you got to do this, you got to do that. So it's like a running back in football. You know, you get hit, what can you do after contact? And especially on the offensive end, and he's just continued to make the effort to do it.
I broke the program record for steals tonight. For him to do it on a night where he has so many and he's scoring the ball so well and the crowd's getting into it, how fitting is that for him and his journey to do it on a night like this?
You know, Zakai has been an incredible blessing for me personally. You know, I remember I saw him play one time in high school the last week of the summer, and, you know, I'm sure his story is well documented. But someone asked me, Bob asked me about, I mean, what he does, what you guys see him do, you guys come to practice, he does it every day. It's just who he is. It's in his DNA, and it's really a blessing as a coach to have a guy like that. Sometimes he gets so competitive, and he's so hard on himself. But I tell you what, I don't know what I'd do without him. You know, I mean, he's my comfort blanket. He really is. At the end of the game, I'm glad that we were able to finish without him because this might be the least minutes he's played in a long time. What did he play, 30? I don't know, because I've always believed a point guard's like a quarterback. You got to let them get a feel while they're out there, and very few guys can do what he does, the way he impacts the ball on both the game on both ends of the court, his defense, and how hard he is. But he. Again, it's a blessing to have had him with us, and it's fitting that he's done what he's done. When you think about his steals, you think about all those type of things, and what he's done. I mean, he has been really, truly one of the great volunteers. I'm telling you. I mean, and it's just amazing what he does and the way he goes about it every single day.
How are you surprised at what you've been able to get out of Cade recently with what's going on with his shoulder, and how much discussion was there on whether it's better to play him now or let him heal up, and how much was that a discussion?
Well, when you're down to 9 scholarship players, and actually when Cade got hurt, Bishop wasn't really ready to go either because of his shoulder. And, you know, you listen to your players, and there was no way he wasn't going to play. And, again, it goes back to DNA. You know, Cade's farm strong, country strong, highly competitive, comes from a very highly competitive family that's, you know, got a pretty good pedigree, obviously. And I asked him one day, I said, "How you shoulder?" He said, "Doesn't matter, I'm playing." You know, and he was visibly, you could see it. I mean, he didn't want to pick it up. I watched him in practice, and we were trying to obviously protect him there. You could tell he was trying to do things with one hand. Jemiah went through it with his hand. I mean, the same thing. I mean, those things were right there, and Shaq was the same way. It wasn't anything that you're going to do to keep him off the court. And Cade, and same way. I mean, just if we told him, you know, remember he missed the senior year of high school with the shoulder problem, but different. You know, he felt it pop out during the game over there, you know, right on the other side of the court away from the bench when it happened, which is never comfortable. But you know what? I don't worry about much of it anyway. With that, we're going to go with whatever we got. But I wasn't the least bit surprised, and I knew he was in pain. But when he said, "It doesn't matter, I'm playing," honestly, I'd have probably wondered if he didn't, because that's just who he is.
Talked about it a little bit earlier, but what you guys have gotten from Felix defensively the last couple games, is that more what you expected from him this season?
Yeah, he really has been good. He's gotten so much better up on the ball screens, and for protecting around the rim. And you know what? He's going to continue to improve offensively if we can just continue to get his space where he needs to get it. Again, our guards believe in him. You know, they think if they can stay in front of the ball, they get beat. They know he's back there. And Cade, same way. You know, Cade's become a really good shot blocker as well. Cade's really good with his verticality, really good at it. And but Felix is otherwise going to go up and try to get it. And it's a weapon. It really is.
Rick, I was going to ask that same question about Felix. I guess just what gives you confidence that he can give you more offense inside in the paint or on the block? You said you don't really care where the points come from, but what gives you confidence that Felix can produce for you?
Just the fact, I don't think he's ever been asked to do it, and he's a junior. You know, sometimes as coaches you gotta, you don't want to put somebody in a box so quick. You want to say, okay, if we can get something done here. I mean, if he could get us, 2, 3 of those little jump hooks around the rim, because otherwise people are just going to hug up to the perimeter guys on the perimeter and almost kind of dare you to throw it in there. We want to get the lobs. Obviously, we want to try to get behind the defense, but that comes with a lot of things. The guy on the ball has got to be guarded. The way he guards Chaz, they might not leave him, so that's going to open up a little bit better driving lane for the guard if he comes off that side. Shaq might be in the gap a little bit more, but we've got to screen better, especially when we're in a drop coverage. When we're in a drop coverage, it's up to the guard to get downhill to that post defender, and it's up to the Felix to get behind him some way. If not, he's got to create a little angle where we maybe can get what we call a highway screen in there. But it's hard because we're playing against really good competition, well-coached teams, and so the timing has to be there. But we're just going to keep working at it, and as long as he continues to work hard, we're going to do everything we can to continue to get him better.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys.